Hello, folks. I'm Josh McGehee from the STL United Soccer Show, and I'm honored today to be talking to someone who is no longer the CEO and majority owner of the MLS for the Lou Group, but she is now the CEO and majority owner of St. Louis City Soccer Club. Miss Carolyn Betz, thank you for taking the time to talk with me today.
Sure. Thank you very much for having me.
And you're also joined with someone who's had a hand in this process as well, Mr. Lee Broughton.
Correct.
Hi.
Here.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys. So, again, huge announcement on Thursday, St. Louis City Soccer Club. Let's start there. Let's talk about the name first. City that we've seen in soccer culture, it's a name used by many clubs around the world, including some in MLS. What was or is the significance of that word to you and the rest of the group? And is that what helped kind of set it apart from some of the other name suggestions?
Yeah, absolutely. So back in January, we asked for fans to submit names and what they wanted the club to be called. And honestly, City was very popular. There was about four that we just kept seeing were rising to the top. And like I said, City was the most popular. So we had the marketing team go and really work on, what would the story be? How would that brand look? And, just the talented group that they are came back with just an amazing story. And it was really about how our version of City was really going to focus on and highlight, just who we are with these diverse cultures that we have, these iconic neighborhoods, our proud heritage. And so we just really wanted to use City as sort of the starting point of what we believe will be a forward-looking sort of endeavor with the club. And so we were really excited when we were able to announce it yesterday.
So let's talk about the process a little bit. You said, obviously, yesterday and going forward, that City was one of the ones that was most suggested. You had 6,000 naming suggestions. What was the process sifting through those suggestions like? Were there certain qualities that you and the rest of the group valued over others when you were looking for a potential name? What did those discussions look like?
Yeah, I mean, it was a very collaborative process. One of the things that we did fairly early on was sort of assemble a talented, diverse group of local artists because we knew the creative expression of whatever name we came up with was going to be so important to bring to life everything that Carolyn just mentioned. And so I think that that was a huge win for us. We had a great group of people. They were all aligned really early on around the inspiration of the St. Louis flag. That was one thing that sort of cropped up. And then you combine the description that Carolyn made with other things that the community fed into the process, and you realize that the landmarks are going to play a role at some point. I mean, globally, we're recognized by the Arch, and we wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for the confluence of the Missouri and the Mississippi. So we knew that those two things were going to be important elements too. So it was a wonderful process in many ways, and as Carolyn said, we wanted something that was going to be modern and that was going to be sort of aspirational. So I think that's where we fell out.
So that kind of leads into what I was going to ask about the crest and the colors, where the things that stood out to me were its uniqueness and its ability to tell a story. Uniqueness in the fact that it's not like the other ones in MLS, and the story, as you guys have pointed out, the kind of landmarks of our city. So was those aspects of it something, like you said, something that you knew immediately that you wanted to have, even though you didn't know exactly what the design would look like at the start?
Yeah, there was. So the story that Carolyn tells about how we are thinking about wanting to be a symbol of the future of our city and provoke conversation about where we're going as a region. We want to dream bigger than our history, and we know that that's a big ambition because we have a wonderful storied history here. We wanted to pull some of those themes from the past and make them relevant today and aspirational into the future. And the fact is that so many cities in America would die for the sort of cultural and geographical icons that we have in the rivers and the arch. So it would be crazy to leave those things on the wayside because awareness and relevance plays such a huge role in your symbols. So, it was fabulous that the artists sort of rallied around that fairly quickly. And even though we had to figure out, which crest or which version of our marks were going to be the ones that we would choose, we felt really strongly when we saw this. And the vibrancy of the colours, as you point out, was a distinguishing factor when you look at it up against the rest of the clubs in the league. So we feel very excited about that too.
So let's move on to a little bit of a different subject. Thursday's event was fantastic. I thought you guys did a great job, but it was bittersweet, and you could see all those cardboard cutouts, and to think that fans could not be at this event because of the global pandemic. Can you guys, either one of you, talk to me a little bit about, from a day-to-day operation standpoint, and when it came to the big decisions, how has the club adjusted to working during the pandemic over the past few months?
Well, I mean, I think that one thing is that the entire world is in this situation. And so I think we have a great team. We figured out how to work together from home. And, I think everybody is really just excited that we could pick a date and make our announcement and really start looking towards the future of this club and really have something to celebrate. I think people were really excited that we did make that announcement finally. Funny story, no rhyme or reason. We just said, okay, the date's August 13th. That's the date. But honestly, I mean, we're doing everything just like everybody else is doing, and we've adjusted, fine. But, we certainly miss seeing each other. And so, but we are excited what the future's going to bring.
So it's official now. Name, crest, colors have been announced. I'm interested to know, from your perspective, have you ever gained any, new perspective of what you've been able to accomplish so far in this short period of time, now that you have an official name for the club?
In the sense of sort of enjoying and basking in all of the engagement that has now sort of transpired since we've had a name and crest reveal, yes. One of the things that we've joked about a bit together is this idea that it's been hard for the fans to really get active and have points of view on things, because we've been trying to just gather as many people together behind a movement before we can introduce them to the brand of the club that they want to be loyal and be fans of. So that's happened in the last 24 hours. It's gone crazy. And loads of great, kind of engagement in terms of, in fact, we just were sharing a tweet from a fan a few minutes ago where they were looking at our crest and they were saying that the rivers have nutmegged the arch, which we thought was fantastic. And I can't stop seeing it now. Like, the rivers are acting like a soccer ball that has been put through the legs of the player of the arch. And I think that's that type of engagement that we're going to get from the fans, to Carolyn's point, are going to help us come up with our nicknames, going to help us come up with our mascots, other marks, almost certainly. So it's an exciting time for sure.
Well, it's been a joy to see the engagement. I think someone mentioned yesterday that your guys' Twitter account gained thousands of followers in the span of a couple hours. And I can't wait to continue to see what you guys do on there with social media and the community and all that stuff, which leads me into a question I can get you guys out of here on, is that we still have a few months left here in 2020. I know it was casually mentioned on the live announcement about some sort of a ticket system that you guys might be coming out with here in a few weeks. In an ideal world, what else do you hope to get done at St. Louis City Soccer Club, whether it be on the field or off the field decisions for the rest of 2020?
Yeah, I mean, I think we really need to hire our chief sporting officer because it's time to really start focusing on the sporting side of this club. And so I think we definitely want to have that hired sooner than later. Certainly the ticket deposit will be such a fun, exciting time. And really, I think we need to re-engage the fans, because we need to start talking about nicknames and mascots and all those really, cool things that give St. Louis City SC its own identity.
Well, I just want to say, on behalf of a lot of people, thank you so much to both of you for all the work that you've done for this club. It's very exciting that now it has a brand, it has a name, St. Louis City Soccer Club. Ms. Carolyn, Kendall, Betz, and Lee Broughton, thank you so much for talking to me today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.